We've got more Marvel drama coming up. We've got some news about the Friday Nights Freddy movie. And we've also got some spectacular news about a Marvel project that has just blown everybody away. So for everyone, thank you for coming back for another episode of Lights, Camera, Rant. And before we get into it, you know what comes up first.
Welcome to the Lights, Camera, Rant podcast. Your source for the latest on movies, TV shows, and video games. Get ready for ranting, raving, and reviewing. Here is your host, Lee.
Hi everyone, and welcome back for another episode. As always, it is a pleasure seeing every single one of you back. For anyone new, welcome. For anyone who's reoccurring, you know exactly where to plunk your ass and get ready for another episode. So as I mentioned, we've got unfortunately some bad news about Marvel, which is currently in shambles. However, we have had two silver linings this week, and we've also had some fantastic news about something else that's also arriving, that I have no doubt a lot of fans will be excited for this, especially the horror community, which is on the horizon too. But before we get into that, let's do a little bit of housekeeping. This week has been a massive week, not only because of all the news that's come out, but also the fact that I've also got the chance to, I'd like to say thank you to Studio Canal, who sent an event screening. We got to watch Bring Him to Me, which the review is out right now. If you're looking for a new thrill ride, something a little bit different, a little bit interesting with big John Wick vibes, I've got that for you. I'll make sure the link to that episode is currently in our show notes, but that is Bring Him to Me. And I also had the absolute pleasure of having the Silver Screen Happy Hour podcast. Those guys were fantastic. They jumped on an episode and we did a deep dive on Jaws. So we were comparing Jaws 1 to Jaws 4, The Revenge, which is infamous for its own reasons, the good, the bad. Actually, let me rephrase that. Just bad, 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 bad. Just absolute decline like that. So basically, we did a really good, so what makes a fantastic movie, a box office absolute summer blockbuster, to an utter dud, which in other cases is called a franchise killer, which this indeed it was. Not the shark, but the movie which killed the franchise. It has been the last Jaws film ever since. And not to mention the fact that Michael Caine has not seen this movie at all since he filmed it, because it bought his mother a lovely house. But there is so much more in that episode, and I highly recommend you going and checking that out. Also, just a quick reminder, we also did create a Discord a couple of weeks ago, which we now have called the Ranting Lounge, which the ranting and discussion and the news does not stop just on this episode. It's where you can continue the conversation, and I hope to see you all there. There's so much more debating, arguing, only friendly, and a lot more ranting to be done. And so I thought Discord would be the best place for it to continue on. So definitely please join us at the Ranting Lounge. Now, enough about housekeeping. Let's dive into the news. So, as I mentioned, Five Nights at Freddy's fans, not only has the movie done fantastic well domestically at the box office, not only is it Blumhouse's best opening weekend of a movie they've ever had, is that the sequel, which is kind of not surprising, but just a confirmation, is currently in the works and it will be moving forward. Now, from what I was reading, is the fact they tend to turn this into a trilogy, which, look, if anyone's seen the ending, you'll see the fact that this very leads into a second one, and the third one is a no-brainer. So the Five Nights at Freddy movie for the Blumhouse has been an absolute win and a fire shot. That is currently right now still the box office making bank. And a resurgence of the video games. For anyone who doesn't know about this franchise, look, go have a look on YouTube and then go have a look at the movie. You'll be creeped out, pleasantly surprised, and The movie isn't overly fantastic from what I can see from the reviews, but it does do the game justice and continues that trend from transition from video game to movie to TV show trend that is on an absolute high. This, Sonic, Last of Us have all been absolute bangers, and they're continuing on. Oh, I gotta get that coffee to start my day. But 5 Votes of Furry Friends, you're in store. It is ready to go. Sequel is in the works. Now, I have said on this podcast multiple times, the fact that Sony should give the rights Sony should give the rights of Spider-Man back to Marvel, which everyone says yes. No one says no except for Sony. Every fan, everyone at Marvel says for Sony to give the rights to Spider-Man back to Marvel because they are horrible at what they create. Yes, at what they've done and the weirdest choices they make. I did make an episode earlier last year, which is called the Lost sequels of the Spider-Man, the Lost films. And I think there is about, I think 2 films from the original Spider-Man with Tobey Maguire that never got to fruition. And there's about 4 to 5 films that Sony had in the pipeline for Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man, which the brand new book that's coming out, it's called The Reign of Marvel Studios. Now, this book is causing some, not controversy, but a lot is coming to light. Like, for example, the fact that the reason why Tom Cruise never played Iron Man was because he was asking price for an unknown superhero project at the time was way too high, and he was like, nah, we'll get somebody else, which is no shock. So for everyone who's like, oh, why did Tom Cruise never take up the role? It's because of the fact he cost too much. And it was an absolute win, the fact that he didn't play the character at all. Could you imagine what it was going to be like? Nah, I do not want to see a Tom Cruise Iron Man unless it's a cameo or Secret Wars. Now, this is what, the weirdest thing in this book, one of the weirdest things, is that one of the movies that Sony was going to make was called the Sinister Six movie. They were going to make that. They had plans that we saw at the end of Amazing Spider-Man 2 with all the Easter eggs. It was on the horizon. And what they were going to make in that, what was loosely in that script, or something that was part of it, was the fact that they were going to have Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man go to the Savage Land and ride a T-Rex. Let's just let that set in. Yes. So apparently part of the script was that somehow Spider-Man was going to go to Savage Land and ride a T-Rex. And as soon as I saw that, I read that, I was like, no wonder this. What were they thinking? What were they thinking with all of this? Like, that's a great idea. We should print that. And then boom, everything that followed. Because don't forget, they were going to make a Sinister Six movie. They wanted to make a Spider-Gwen. They were going to make Amazing Spider-Man 3. They were going to make, I think there was a Carnage as well. There was a Carnage movie that was going to be made on top of that. There was just so much. And I'd like to say thank you to Eric for coming past on the YouTube. I think Tom Cruise fits a role of Iron, but yeah, no way it would have been close as special as what RDJ. No. It would. I would be so surprised. I fully agree with you, Eric. I would be so surprised if Tom Cruise made it all the way to Endgame. I can't. Then again, there is Mission Impossible 7 and 8, I guess. But I feel like it might have been very much like probably not the same degree, but especially Eric Bana. No, Edward Norton with the Hulk. He would probably try and do a whole lot in the script and everything, and try and be too much involved. Which happened with The Mummy, which that plummeted and was a big shitstorm and killed another franchise. Actually, sorry, The Mummy killed a multi-franchise Universal Dark Universe was going to make. So, yeah, I don't think Tom Cruise would have gone the distance. Not to mention, it wouldn't have looked right, I don't think. Well, I guess we would have known because word situations like now all we see is RDJ, and we still see RDJ. Same with the Wolverine. But yeah, sorry, back to Spider-Man. Yeah, so Spider-Man, there was meant to be all these sequels that were all in the plan, and there was another film which I can't remember off the top of my head that there was another one they were going to make, and I can't remember what it was, but it was still just as weird. And not only just removed from that, don't forget the fact that we are getting Kraven the Hunter movie that's going to be coming out next year. Venom 3 is going to come out next year, and they were going to make, which I forgot the name, they were going to make a Spider-Man villain movie where he's a Mexican wrestler, and then and Bad Bunny was going to play the cat. Yeah, that's how I just don't want Sony to touch it. But no, hey, here we are, and Sony will never get the rights because they really haven't got anything else. Now, this is the game debatable. This is a lot of people apparently close to Marvel have reported to Vanity Fair that there is a plan, or Marvel is highly considering bringing back the original Six in an upcoming movie. Now, for me, I think this is utterly bullshit. I think it's real. I think it's fake. Because I can't imagine Kevin Feige wanting to bring back the original Six. I can't imagine he wanting to make another movie for this. But at the same time, don't forget that this could be very misconstrued. The fact that they could all be popping up in Secret Wars. Because don't forget, Secret Wars, anything is possible. Anyone can come. Tom Cruise as Iron Man can come back. Anyone can come back for this. So, it's not so much the fact that original Six might come back for another movie or Avengers movie. They'll come back for Secret Invasion. So, Secret Wars. God damn it. Secret Wars. They might come back for that. So, that's what I think this is leading to, is that they're going to come back for Secret Wars and not another movie. And there's a lot going on between the two. And it's interesting to see that all this is rising up with the reign of Marvel Studios, the other ones. It's interesting to see what's true, what's fake, and what fans are saying. Thank you, Eric. Yeah, I always mix up Secret Invasion, Secret Wars. I know. It's because Secret Invasion just came out just not too long ago, which is scary because the fact that now as of next week, we get the last episode of Loki, which is the last episode of the Marvel TV show this year. So that's even scary as well. But I think they're all going to come back in Secret Invasion. So, of course, they're going to come back for another Avengers movie. It's Secret Invasion. Don't think they're going to make another Avengers movie and these characters are going to replace the existing, because Kevin Feige is going to be pushing the massive pillar of them forward. Now, moving on a little bit, for any Day Before fans, this is an upcoming survival zombie game. Well, this has been in development hell for a very long time. It's been pushed back, I believe 3 times. Not to mention, it's had some controversy with it as well. So finally, we have a release date of early access of December 7th. Now, I know a lot of people, if you do like The Division, imagine Tom Clancy's Division with zombies, and you got The Day Before. The first trailer for this was 5 years ago. However, unfortunately, this game is again controversy again, because the fact the last trailer mimics, I think, that of Grand Theft Auto 5, just the way it's a woman talking about what you can do in this world. So it's adding up. But then again, it's only early access on December 7th, so we don't have a full release date at this stage, but that's something. So for any Tom Clancy Division fans, they're waiting for a hot new zombie game, because, we all need more zombie games. This is your ticket. It's coming at the end. Whether or not it's going to be good is a completely different story. Now, for any Superman and Lois fans, I am incredibly have found some unfortunate news that season 4, it will be the final season of this spin-off show. Now, this comes to half a surprise, because the fact that There's obviously between the CW, where was season 4 going to be? Season 4, obviously, a few cast members got cut, different budgeting. So the fact that this is the last season isn't a huge shock. It is for all you Superman fans. It's a gut-wrenching thing. Just getting an announcement, the fact that, oh, a new home, a new place. Oh, that's great. The show can continue. Boom. Nah, cut off. Nah, season 4 is the last one. Don't believe there was a release date for season 4 at this stage, but that is unfortunately the last one. So how that's going to end is going to be very interesting. And I'd like to say thank you to Mr. Mark My Words, who's just come past on YouTube, which this man is currently on 998 subscribers. He is this close to crossing the 1K mark and joining the 1K club. So if you haven't subscribed to his channel, please do. The man goes live every Tuesday and Thursdays and does some bonus streams as well, and always streaming the latest games, which he will be streaming Call of Duty right around the corner. So that's right around the corner as well for Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3, which I do believe IGN gave it a 4. Check it again. He already ran across 1K now. I think IGN only gave Call of Duty a 4, so that's shock and awe, I guess. Yeah, it is what it is. Now this is what the bonus thing I was talking about that took a lot of people by storm. Now, the Echo just dropped. Oh, yeah, mark my words. The story is only 3 hours long. Yeah. Well, it is just a remake or a remaster. I think it's just a remaster. So that doesn't surprise me. Yeah, that's just, I will be picking up Call of Duty. I won't be reviewing it, but I will because nostalgia factor is this high. But yes, Echo. Now, Echo is a Marvel TV show that was meant to be dropping in December. Now, a lot of controversy is also happened with this show. There was rumors that Marvel just were going to scrap this and end it completely because apparently it was horrible. Another source was the fact that they were just going to do a complete episode dump just to get rid of it, that there was also on-set issues. Well, I'm here to tell you, this trailer surprised me so much because it is indeed correct, Mr. McWords. This, for a TV show that's going to have this much controversy or this much issues, it's getting a TVMA rating. There was blood in the trailer. There was Daredevil in the trailer very briefly. Getting the return of the red suit. It was an action-packed, brutal trailer. And like this, from obviously a trailer, only shows a glimpse, not the whole thing, but this has got me on board so much on what could potentially happen. In this Kingpin, he survives after Hawkeye. This trailer was action-packed. It didn't give a whole lot. It just said the fact that the tagline was no bad deed goes unpunished, something like that. Can't remember. But the hype train. This is coming on January. This is dropping on January the 10th, and it is indeed all episodes are dropping at the same time. This is also going on Hulu at the same time as well. So I'm going to take it personally and take the fact that the reason why they're dropping all the episodes might be scheduling conflicts with all the striking and filming, not necessarily take it back as the fact that there has been production issues. I'd say the reason why is because of just scheduling what's coming on the horizon. So as far as I know, what we're meant to get at the end of the year after Loki is What If Season 2, which has not been announced. So that hasn't been announced. However, we did get the trailer for Echo. Looks fantastic. Let me know what you think. I know there's a lot of Marvel people out there that like, oh, probably just be the best and it's going to be shit. And episode 4 will be fire, but the rest will be just have faith. In fact, this has a TVMA rating, which I think think we were talking the Don't Be a Hero podcast. They made a really good point. Of course, this drops before Deadpool 3 to get ready for the fact the R rating. So this Deadpool 3, if they don't do the Short with Cat 4, any mature adult Marvel fans like myself, we're in for a wild ride. But this looks great. Now, that is the biggest headline that's happened in the past week. Now, let's dive into our reviews, which we have Gen V, Invincible, Loki. This all dropped on Friday. This all dropped on Friday night. So I was like, 1 showdown, 2 showdown, 3 showdown. Holy crap. And talk about a cycle of emotions. Shit. Okay. This just was up and down, up and down. Gen V, episode 8, the final episode. So, real quick recap. Let's go into this. So, obviously, Kate kills Dean Shetty. They're trying to understand what's happened. And what happens is Kate teams up with Sam. Oh, sorry. Pull back. Spoilers. Left, right, and center. Spoilers. If you haven't seen it already. So Kate joins Sam, and they're going to go release the inmates. Yeah. They're going to release the inmates and the trapped children from the forest. And then when she does that, they go attack the humans at Godolkin. So this episode is just as bloody, just as much action. The CGI is top notch. This is Boys true all the way. Now, not only does Sam and Kate release all the inmates at the woods, Sam starts seeing his brother Luke, who's trying to reason with him, which unfortunately Kate, because Sam says so, touches him and makes him forget everything of the pain, everything going on. So he makes him forget his brother. Not forget his brother, but forget all the feelings inside. So he is now pretty much a one-stop killing machine. He does have a massive fight with Emma, and I felt so sorry for Emma through this. I'm like, she's only trying to help him. And he's just not one-track mind, but he's just Kate hasn't forced him, but he wants to be a hero. He wants to help his kind. And look, yes, Turley, you did fall in love with a guy that has been locked in a cage for a very long time and had prodded and picked all and messed up, and his brother died. So I guess you can't really expect a whole lot emotionally strong with everything going on. I guess you can't do that. But what happens is with the rest of Marie, the rest of the crew, they're trying to stop the inmates that are killing the humans, which just turns into an utter bloodbath. So much. Kate's killing people left, right, and center. And not to mention, with Kate's killing everybody, it's just going nuts. Ashley is also there as well. Boys, she pops in. She's with a couple other Vought execs trying to find a replacement for the 7 to actually bring the 7 back to having a full team of 7. Because you got to remember, compared to the season 1 of the Boys, like there isn't 7 anymore. Like it's more like 4. I think 4 or 3 now. Because everyone's like dying or quit, or Homelander's killed them. Yeah, it's really not the 7 anymore. It's pretty much Homelander and the Deep. Actually, it could just be Homelander and the Deep right now. So maybe just the 2. The fish guy and the guy who's got mental problems. So as the episode progresses, as everything, Marie's trying to save the day. However, between all the battle, the bloodshed, everything going on, you can see Kate's about to touch. Oh my god, I just forgot his name. Oh my god. That's terrible. That's terrible of me. Just for his name is about to touch him, obviously to make him kill himself, or to kill her, go on a rampage or something. So Marie quickly makes the arm explode, makes Kate's arm go straight flat after she just used her powers just before to kill Translucent's son, because you could hear his heartbeat. You also see Translucent on the ground and see without his powers, and he is a weird little dude. Weird little dude. But no, she makes her son Jordan. Makes Jordan. She's going to touch Jordan. That's it. No mistake. And so Marie uses powers, and to stop her, Kate's arm explodes into pieces, and then boom, we get a Homelander cameo who rocks up to save the day after what's that Ashley sends a message out to Homelander. Now we all were sitting there, and of course we're like, oh my god, Homelander is going to save the day, or this is going to go a little bit different. How is this going to go? So you think that Homelander is going to help, but no. He turns around to Marie and is like, "What kind of animal are you who fights their own kind?" And Marie's like, "What do you mean?" So it's like, Jordan, and then he blasts her with his laser vision, and then you see the flip to a news report where Marie, Jordan, Emma, and Andre, who's just discovered the fact that his dad's all right. However, his powers are slowly killing him, giving him seizures, which is great to know when you're a superhero and you have powers, it's actually slowing killing you. Is the fact that Kate and Sam are the heroes of Godolkin, but the rest have been as a massacre and they killed them. And then you find out they're locked in Vought in a room, in the clinical room with no doors. I was like, oh shit, holy, what the hell has just happened? So this leads straight into The Boys season 4, which is great. But what the fuck? Like, I'm just sitting there going, what's going on? Like, why is Homelander doing this? Obviously, remember at the end of season 3 when he killed that guy with his son, the fact to be more of a soup, but still. And then at the end, we get a fantastic small cameo of Butcher, who's rocked up to the woods, going, "What a bunch of CUNTs," which it wouldn't be The Boys without Butcher saying the C word. So that was a great cameo. So essentially, going into The Boys season 4, the Butcher's crew are all up to speed. Homelander's all up to speed of what's happening. So we pretty much can go straight in. Almost, we'll probably get a recap at the beginning of going, oh, this happened on Gen V, this happened on The Boys. It's a bit of a big recap. But at this stage, like going into, like, I don't know how much they're going to be in it, but the whole Gen V crew could very much be in The Boys season 4. What is going to happen in Boys season 4 is a major thing, because obviously at the end of The Boys, Homelander has to die or lose his powers, one of the two. Has to happen. But everything sets up, and this was overall Gen V being a spin-off of The Boys was fantastic. I can't believe we're already at the end. Like, where's like the last 5 weeks gone? But yeah, Gen V was fantastic. The action, the writing, and I was saying this to a guy the other day that if I was on paper between Loki and Gen V, not being more of being a critic, not being a Marvel fan, Gen V is the better show, the better written, better quality, the better story, more brutality. Gen V is bad with The Boys. Me being a Marvel fan, Loki all the win, Loki win. But you tell me, what did you think of the final of Gen V? What do you think is going to happen in season 4 of The Boys? What that's going to lead to? Did you like the show? Did you like the setting being in a high school? Are you curious? Or you want to know what's going to happen in season 2 of The Boys? Sorry, season 2 of Gen V. there, which will be 2025. I'm guessing we're going to do show by show per year. I guess that's when it's going to be happening. But as I just mentioned, Gen V smashed it. Fantastic. And a massive what the fuck at the end of the episode. Honestly, just goddamn. Now, let's get into the premiere of Invincible, which has been a long time coming. This feels like it's been forever since we got season 1 of Invincible. Which was season. It feels like 2 years ago. Honestly, it does. Feels like 2 years ago since we got Invincible. And the hype train has just been keep going. But we have got, now, as a quick reminder, that we are only getting about 6 episodes this season of Invincible before the break before Christmas. Now, and then we get the other half. So we will have a mid-season cliffhanger. So don't keep in mind the fact that it's going to be happening. So as this episode starts off, we see Invincible versus Immortal. And we also see Omni-Man at the same time, which obviously we know at the end of season 1, Omni-Man didn't leave the plan altogether. So what we're actually seeing is, for any of us Terminator fans, again, spoilers, this is more of a dark fate. So this episode starts off with a dark fate of seeing what happened if Mark did join Omni-Man at the end. We see the planet's desolated. We see him kill Immortal. We see Omni-Man understand what's happening and trying to help. And then we also see this underground resistance trying to kill Invincible and Omni-Man. And we're also introduced to Andrea, A-N-G-G-A. He, Aragron. I was trying to pronounce it. I was a bit bad at it. We're introduced to the antagonist for this season. Well, at least for the first half, where he really doesn't like Omni-Man Invincible because of what's happening to his planet. Of course, now he is only a side character. We do see Robot. We do see a couple of returning characters, which unfortunately have either died, killed, or paralyzed within that very first few moments, as Iron-Man and Invincible do find this underground resistance. However, Andre does disappear through a portal, which isn't explained. It just goes, he just disappears. And then after we see the Dark Fate universe, that's what I'm going to call it, just the Dark Fate universe, we do join our Mark, the right universe, who's trying to save the day. He's only trying to do the right thing. And he's only doing small time superhero stuff. He's no longer with the Guardians. He's no longer with them because of what happened. He's still obviously trying to handle, process everything. We see him there. He also visits the site and where his father disappeared. We also see his mum, Debbie. She's also struggling as well. And, she's got so much pent up anger. Find out there she was just a pet for last season. But animation style is beautiful. It's great going back into this universe, and not to mention going to the backup Gen V. It's just as brutal, just as bloodied. There was a lot of on the nose points. There was like, who is he? What's he gonna do? Don't forget, I'm invincible. Like that made me think of, what do you call it? Austin Powers. I think it's the second one, right at the end where the rocket's in space, and it's like, oh, that looks like a giant hot dogs. Get your snacks, get your sausages. Oh, would you look at that? That looks like a giant my junk. Like that was like felt like that every time someone said Invincible. Like it was just straight off into somebody else saying the name. But we see it's good seeing his characters again. We see his high school life. He's gone back to high school trying to finish, which we do find out that he does get into university with his girlfriend. But at the same time, while this is going on, we see the Mullen brothers. They are in prison, and they also see a green portal, which they do go through. into a different alternate dimension, which we meet another version of Andre who essentially hires them because he wants to make a device because he has the powers to go into multiple dimensions. But he wants to basically combine all the memories into one, but he can't get this machine to work, so he enlists their help. And he's not evil at all. He's not evil at this part, which of course that starts getting going. We do see the one for the Dark Fate amongst all these different variances. We get to see he is there, and it still looks like he's struggling a little bit. Now, as the episode progresses, we see the fact that Mark does have interaction with Cecil, who mentions, I don't trust you, you're not safe, you can't go out there, you can't go out there, you're not stable enough, how about you take a break before I let you out? Which Mark doesn't take that too fondly. Now, what is happening is with the Guardians, they're struggling as a team because they've got no leadership. Not to mention, Robot is also struggling because he's now human after what happened in season 1. He's usually the leader, but he's struggling because now he's feeling everything. He's feeling the fear. He's feeling it all. And I think that's a great aspect of his character. Like, of course, compared to Robot, he's still using the Robot outfit suit mechanism, and he's also still got the connection with Monster Girl. Now we see that, and we get a new team member, and Immortal will now be leading the team moving forward. Now, as the episode progresses, Invincible goes back to Cecil. No, I can do it. I'll follow orders. I'll be in short leash. Tell me where to go. So, as the machine is starting with Moreland working on it, it starts getting turned on. Invincible rocks up. He tries to beat the Moreland brothers. However, Angel, I'm butchering his name, opens multiple portals, and more Moreland brothers come as well. So he's taken on about 8 or 9 of them. And don't remember, these guys are very strong, very they can take him on. They start beating down Invincible really bad. Andre's like, I'm a pacifist. I'm not going to let you kill him. So he tries to take the device off. And what do you think is going to happen? Boom! Explodes. The whole machine explodes. A lot of the variants die. However, Andre has this massive mammoth brain on his head now because it didn't work properly. However, here's the tricky thing: is that his memories now, he can't difference between all the memories. So because of what's happened, he only sees the Dark Fate memories, and he wants to kill Invincible. Now now he sets on that path, and we also see that now Mark got into university. He also has a small interaction with Immortal, who goes, "I don't trust you. You're just like your father, and I'll never trust you," essentially. So as this episode wraps up, we have our villain. Invincible's back with the team. Debbie's still struggling, but this is how we're going to be moving forward. So this episode, to me, was a strong start. It's got, I think, Rotten Tomatoes. It's got 100% fresh. The action, the emotional drama, high. I didn't feel bored, and I think it's great. Just a good jumping off point of where it's going. This is where our characters are. This is who's struggling. Who's the new villain. Don't know how for, but at least we also got Omni-Man, because I didn't think how much Omni-Man was going to be in the season, because I would say maybe he won't pop into the mid-halfway point. But I really do like they did do the Dark Fate stat. That you actually got to see what would happen if Mark did join Omni-Man. I think that was a great way, as a good launching point after the last season, to see where this could go, because that was such a pivotal point. So I'm glad we did get that. But if for anyone who's cartoon brutality, you need to jump onto the Invincibles right now. Don't forget there is season 1. Binge that out. Episodes don't go over too long. There's also the Eve special as well. So get onto that. But you tell me, what do you think of the very first episode? What are you excited for? And how do you think this is going to end? Now, let's move on to our last review, which is Loki Season 2, Episode 5, science fiction, which... Okay. Let's break this down. Okay? The last episode of season 4... last episode 4 was such a cliffhanger. I had no theories going into this, except for partially one, which did come true. So this episode opens up with Loki still at TVA. It hasn't exploded. Essentially, almost like the Tepaloo sent out a wave, like a net, like a collection wave, which sent every single person working at TVA back to the original timelines, but not Loki. So Loki's still stuck there. He doesn't know why he's there. Interesting enough, he didn't go back to his original timeline unless it was pruned. Oh, it was. It was. Oh yeah, it was destroyed. So like maybe that's why. I don't know. Maybe that's why he didn't go back. But he's also got his time slipping powers back as well, which he really doesn't like for obvious reasons. And as he's time slipping, he also goes to try and see his friends. So we get to see what people's lives were as well. So we get to see Casey was at Alcatraz. He was a convict. Loki goes there. He doesn't understand why he's there. Then we also get to see him go to D25, D15, Hunter TV, where she is a nurse. And then we see Morbius, who does finally drive a jet ski, which he is a jet ski salesman who with 2 sons, and he struggles. At the same time, we also get OB, who's a failed science fiction writer. He's still a science and also has a degree in science and neuroscience. Still has that, but he did leave his wife and wants to be a science fiction writer. So Loki does go meet OB, and lucky enough, he also has the TVA handbook to give to OB. So talk about future falling into its what do you call it? Felt a self-fulfilling prophecy. You know, when Morbius was like, I would like to thank the person who brought me to the TVA. OB has the TVA handbook. Like, it's all writing itself. Into this. So what happens is, as he's talking to OB, he says, in fact, maybe try and get everyone back together and then go back to that original point to reset it. Also learn how to fix your time slipping powers. Now, I did see someone's comment that was like, oh, this just breaks so many rules. Lucky time slipping, the rules of time and time travel are all ruined. Marvel, I'm like, before we know, Loki's going to lose these powers at the end of this season, or he's not going to be able to use it properly, or he just goes to a branch timeline and stays there with his brother and fulfills that sentence of like, the sun will shine us again, brother. Like, he could very much do that, but we all know that Loki will most likely be in Kang Dynasty and Secret Invasion, but probably will be killed permanently this time. So as he's trying to learn his powers, as that's trying to go on, we get some great interactions with Casey, OB, and Morbius, his sons. And again, the CGI for this episode is great. OB figures out how to make a time bad pretty quickly. However, Loki tries to go get Sylvie. Now, when he goes to see Sylvie, he's prepped up to be like, I'm from the future, time difference, TVA, you don't. But then Sylvie's like, no, I know who you are. I know you're Loki. I know what happened. I just came back here. And then she's like, no, I want to stay here. Don't do what you have to do. I'm not helping you. That's it. Just please leave me alone and bugger off, essentially. They go have a drink at the bar, which gets to, Loki, what do you want? What do you want? And he's like, I want to bring everyone back to TVA. I want my friends back. I want my family back. And then Sylvie's like, see, you're selfish. You're just doing what's right for you, which I didn't think was selfish if you want to help all your friends get back to the TVA, because, he's growing really close to Morbius, which Morbius even says, he's like, oh, it's such a cool name. Now, Loki goes back to OB's universe, and he gets all to point the fact that, I'm just going to let you guys go. He complains, gets complacent and says, I'm going to take you all back. There's no point. Now, I know a lot of people said this episode feels like a filler and feels like it's like, it didn't really do a whole lot, which I don't think is a bad thing because obviously it's going up for season final, episode 6. I would say the most thing about this episode is that you find a lot about their backstory and a lot of their connection, and this episode is aesthetically pleasing. So there's a great scene where Sylvia's sitting in a lounge, she's listening to music, and the entire universe is crumbling and turning into spaghetti, which looked so good. And then as it evolves, we see that Sylvie goes to joins Loki, tells him everything happened to her universe, and it starts happening in Obi's universe as well. All that spaghetti-fied effect. And it's like, what are you going to do? Loki hasn't changed, though. Everyone else is fading away. Even Sylvie fade away, but Loki didn't turn into spaghetti just yet, which is very interesting. And then, at the final moment, Loki figures out how to use his time-slipping powers. Of course, under pressure. So he goes back. He goes back to before they all died. He goes, I know how to do it. This is what we're going to do. We're going to rewrite the story. We're going to fix everything. And we're going to try this again. And we're going to do it. So right at the last frame of this episode, we see Loki use his powers one more time. And he flips right back to the TVA where Jonathan Majors Kang was about to go out. And that's how the episode ends. So this episode is going straight into the season 6. Loki now has his time-slipping powers. How he's gonna help Kang Victor Timely get to the loom. How he's going to fix the loom. How is this going to? Obviously, the rumor is leading into Deadpool 3. Will he be able to save the TVA? But this episode, human emotion. The CGI, doesn't matter if it was a filler episode, it's still very strong. Seeing the background, Obi is still an absolute killer, and this episode is fantastic. I didn't feel bored. I was still intrigued all the way. I didn't feel like it was a disappointment after episode 4. I felt like it was good. Like we got a big banger episode, and like a little bit slow one, and then we get into the final. Because again, I don't know all we know is that potentially it will be leading into Deadpool 3. See, the end of season one of Loki, that was leading into Doctor Strange. So we kind of knew what was going with there. And Universe and Spiderman No Way Home. But this is kind of a little bit more in limbo with everything going on. But love it. All the characters. It's actually kind of sad that we're already at the end. However, with Gen V done, Loki season 2 done, we are going to be reviewing the Marvels next week. We're also going to be obviously staying on Invincible for the train right now. But you tell me, ladies and gentlemen, what do you think about the last episode? What did you think? How is this going to go? But honestly, my heartfelt is come on. You can't tell me 110%. You can't tell me that besides all the shitty news about what's happening with Marvel, that both Loki and Echo haven't been an absolute 100% pure Marvel to the T. And this is why you should not lose faith and stay on the Marvel trend and not just go, oh, wait, it's failing. Let's just watch it all implode and it's just going to crap itself. They should just reset. Shut up. Get on the Marvel train, stay on it, be a true fan, and get ready for the wonderful ride that's going to be happening in 2024 with Echo, Deadpool 3, Cat 4. 2024 is going to be the strong year for Marvel, and we'll see everything coming forward. So, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and for everyone in the back, I would like to say thank you very much for tuning in for this episode. As always, it's a pleasure seeing every single one of you. And thank you back. I hope to see you in the next one. And as always, happy ranting.
Thanks for listening to Lights, Camera, Rant. If you like the show, don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss a single episode. While you're at it, leave us a rating and review, and be sure to tell your friends. Until next time, happy ranting.